Linking it to the World Toilets Day, although Ghana has made great strides in meeting Millennium Development Goal 7 target with respect to adequate water supply, it did not attain its sanitation target, and the country with just 12% access to improved sanitation by 2015, well below the MDG target 7 of 52%. Now, many of people migrating to urban centers have no choice but to move into low-income settlements, putting pressure on housing and accommodation. And this afternoon, I do have in the studio Tony Kwama. He is the National Community-led Total Sanitation Coordinator at the Ministry of Local Government. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And thanks for your time.
Welcome.
We're celebrating World Toilet Day tomorrow. Are you concerned that most homes in the country, or probably specifically the Greater Accra region, don't have access to toilets?
Yeah, I think that it's a big issue as a nation. If you look at Ghana, we have 19% of our population not having access to improved household toilets, and as a result, they practice open defecation. So we are concerned as a ministry. Yeah.
And what is being done about it? For instance, I went to Choco last week, Saturday, to do a story there. And for most of the residents, they don't have access to toilet facilities. So till there's a change, they will keep practicing open defecation. And you're with the Ministry of Local Government. What is the strategy to end and deal with the open defecation issue once and for all?
All right. I think that even as the ministry works to bring that practice to an end, individuals have the responsibility to making sure that wherever they stay, they have access to toilets. In fact, it is not government's responsibility to provide household latrines or toilets.
How about public toilets then?
Public toilets, for their purposes, are not supposed to be used for household use. Public toilets are provided for people visiting communities, and they are supposed to actually be called they are supposed to be called institutional latrines, and they are supposed to be placed in marketplaces, schools, health centers. The purpose of public latrine is not for households around to use it. It is actually for visiting populations into any community. So individuals own that responsibility of making sure that once you put up a house, you should have a toilet facility in there.
But that hasn't been the norm for some time.
Yeah.
Still going back to Choco where I went to.
Yeah.
I posed that question to the fishermen that, can't you contribute to even build a public toilet there? They said they can't. They don't have the money to. And from what you're telling me, government is not supposed to build one in these households. That's well noted. But what can be done to solve the problem? Isn't there the will to deal with it? I know that you're working with other stakeholders.
Yeah.
What is the contribution to end the issue about open defecation?
Well, there are a number of strategies in place. And one is the program which I handle called the Community-led Total Sanitation, where we work with community members to find solutions to their own problems. That is one. As we speak now, there's a project ongoing called the Gamma Project, which your news today even spoke about. And it is supposed to help community members or the communities get latrines or toilets in their homes. It's a program that has started sometime not too long ago, and I'm sure they will be reaching out to. It is actually being implemented within the metro municipal assemblies within the Greater Accra region. So I'm sure communities will be reached. But apart from that, there are also a number of interventions that the ministry has put in place, and education is one of them. In fact, it is sad to know that individuals do not know that it is their own responsibility to produce or provide toilets in their houses. So education is a strategy in itself. We call it behavior change communication, which is being done to at least create awareness, and individuals get to know that first it is my responsibility, and if government does for the public, it's for public. So that is it.
All right, well, thank you very much, Tony Kwama. He is with the Ministry of Local Government. You're still watching Midday Live.